Hey guys, this is Bowser64. Now, if you are the average hardcore Nintendo DS Lite gamer, you will definitely remember that wonderful day you went into Walmart and bought your first Nintendo DS Lite system, or your only Nintendo DS Lite system, or DSi system, or DS system. But that's besides the point. You know, you open it up, you unwrap it out of those wrappers, and you open up the screens, and you're presented with the wonderful, excellent quality, the top and bottom Nintendo DS Lite screens. And you looked at them. They were a pure white sheen, scratchless, no scratches on them at all. Now, here you are, 6 months down the road, playing Metroid Prime Hunters. You know, you're going along, you're like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this guy. Oh, I gotta aim over here. And you scratch your touchscreen, and you hear it. It sounds like a rock being rubbed across your touchscreen, and you look down and you're like, no, my touchscreen, no. And anyhow, like that. So, you know, I actually had this problem also. You know, when you use one of these default Nintendo DS Lite styluses, they're harder than the touchscreen itself. So when you use them on the touchscreen, when a piece of dirt or something gets under the tip of the stylus, you rub it across the screen and it goes, it's wonderful, isn't it? Keep in mind, the only way to replace your Nintendo DS Lite touchscreen is to send it in for repair, or hope it's under warranty and send it in for repair, or get up the expertise yourself and the money and the time, take apart your Nintendo DS Lite and put a new touchscreen in. And that's not fun. I've had to do it before. And, anyhow, so I was getting pretty desperate, you know. I actually upgraded to a new DS Lite because I scratched my touchscreen like that before. And, as you know, that was pretty aggravating. So I get my new one, and I'm like, I'm not going to touch the touchscreen except when I have to. So I did that. And I don't have very many scratches. But I'm here to tell you that if you take care of your Nintendo DS Lite system and are super careful with it, and especially the touchscreen should not have any scratches on it for a long time. However, you cannot prevent against those situations I just described with playing, you know, a touchscreen intensive game and all of a sudden across the touchscreen. I mean, once it's done, it's done. There's nothing you can do. But in my desperation, I went on YouTube. You know, YouTube's the vast library of knowledge. So I typed in Nintendo DS Lite stylus will not scratch screen and hit enter, or DS stylus that will not scratch touchscreen and hit enter. And I came up with this guy. He was just a teenager like you or me, and he was sort of in the dark. He had a video camera like most people do, and he was talking into it, and he's like, hey guys, I'm blah 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 here, and I'm gonna tell you guys how to use a stylus that will not scratch your Nintendo touchscreen. And what he did, to my ultimate shock, he pulled out a Q-tip. He pulled out a Q-tip and said, guys, use one of these on your Nintendo DS Lite touchscreen and it's not going to scratch anymore. And that was like the end of the video. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, is that it? That's it? All these years and it was that simple. Use a Q-tip on your touchscreen. I'm like, what? I wasn't mad at him. I was just aggravated at myself for destroying a perfectly good DS Lite touchscreen and spending $139+ to get a new DS Lite because of it. However, I did go in his comment box and I was like, dude, you are freaking awesome. You're a genius. This is an ingenious idea. I can't believe I didn't come up with this. I'm like, 3 thumbs up. Great job. And I still haven't gotten a reply from him, and I don't actually remember that guy's name. But, you know, that's not really important. if you're watching this video, if you're that guy, I just want to say I'm giving you credit for this idea. And I want to say thanks for coming up with this idea in the first place, because you planted the seed in my brain. Now, what I'm doing is I'm optimizing your idea, or the idea a little bit, sort of like Robert Fulton did with the steam engine idea. And he built the first practical one. At least I believe it was Robert Fulton. But anyway, it's in my history book. But anyway, you know, I took his idea, and what I did was I put a Q-tip in my DS, and I used that for like a week. Well, okay, maybe one day. I was like, okay, well, I'll get some Q-tips, and I'll stock up, and I'll just put them in my DS and use them as styluses. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, except, let me demonstrate. This is my brand new Nintendo DSi. I got this thing for Christmas. It's awesome. And if you put it in your DS stylus slot and push it down in there, it's very hard to get it back out again. Let me get closer. And when you get it down in your DS Lite stylus slot, you try to pull it out, you pull off the cotton tip of the Q-tip. And that's very aggravating, because eventually it's going to get stuck in there and it's going to be hard to get out of your DS. So that's problem one with this idea. Not to say that the idea is not good. Problem two is when you put it in there and pull it out, you're actually destroying this whole stylus thing in almost like 3 times of getting it out. Also, you try to hold one of these and use them on your DS. They're okay for a while, but they're actually not very ergonomically comfortable for your hand to hold. So, what I did was I took his idea and I optimized it a little bit. I don't know where I put the other styluses. They're somewhere. Oh, there they are. Now, these are Nintendo DS Lite styluses. These are the kind you buy at the store. Some of them are third party, and some of them are the original Nintendo DS Lite styluses. Now, let's go into how their styluses are made. A Nintendo quality stylus will be made of very high quality plastic, and the shaft will be especially high quality. It won't scratch easily, it won't dent easily, it won't break easily. However, I haven't had any problems with the tips of the styluses before, but the third party ones tend to break off the tips pretty easily. Okay, so I tried to drill through one of these Nintendo styluses, the Nintendo licensed ones, and I had a very difficult time. I actually got my drill bit stuck in the plastic. It was so hard, and I think I smoked the drill bit a little bit. Well, you know, got it shrunk in there and stuck, and I had to have my niece and myself pull against the drill bit to get it off. So it was pretty intense. Now, what I did with this guy's idea was I took a regular Nintendo DS Lite stylus, and you know where it slants right there at the tip? I took that, let me compare them side by side, and I cut off the tip about right there where the white one is, lined up. Once I did that, I took a .94 or 0.094 millimeter drill bit. At least I think that's the right measurement. I don't know. And you'll see in the next video that comes after this. I drilled a hole all the way down through the shaft to about that deep. Okay, and what that allowed me to do was to cut off the tip of the Q-tip so that the shaft was exposed, and stick it down in the shaft of the stylus, like so. I had to actually use the right size drill bit so that it would not make the shaft hole too big, and the thing would be all wobbly in it, because the Q-tip shaft is being smaller than the DS Lite stylus shaft. So, and that was it. That was my Soft-Stylus. And the way I like, this is the reason I like doing this, is because when you put it in your DS, it fits snug, see? Now, it's actually pretty cool, and it's very durable as well. It's easy to hold. It feels just like a regular DS stylus, except it will not scratch your touchscreen. Now, I assume you guys want to know how to make one of these DS-like Soft-Styluses. So, if that be, let's do that.